Ladies and gentlemen, you are now listening to the Talking Nonsense About Impact Wrestling podcast. Cross the line in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Talking Nonsense About Impact Wrestling podcast. My name is Geoff, and alongside me today are the Black Snow and Jenna Maraska to my Chet Lemon. It's Lucha and Craig, everybody. Craig, can you guess which one you are?
I guess I'm not Black Snow. That's just
I'm Black Snow. I'm Black Snow.
What a great episode. Well, welcome everybody that's here or people that are coming or watching this later on YouTube. It's been a really great week for Impact Wrestling and therefore us as well. So a lot of cool things to talk about today. Hey, Cody, what's up, buddy? I'm going to kick it to Craig to do his normal spiel there, but I want to introduce Lucha first. You saw him, was it last week for Sacrifice and before as well? And he will be the next contestant when we finally release the next episode of the Hard 10 game show, which just popped up. Lucha, what's up, bud?
What's up, boss? How's everybody going?
Swimmingly. Just had some ice cream ready to go. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Craig,
yeah.
so why don't you kick it off, bud? Tell them the rundown and make sure you mentioned State of Impact.
Yeah. So I'll try and get through as best I can. I have sore throat, very tired. Again, big surprise. And my camera is awful, but I'll get through as best I can. So, yes, it's me. It's MIB Craig, aka Mr. Impact blog for the TNAIW channel, and we are back. And if you don't know by now, you can find us here, you can find us there, you can find us down there, everywhere, from Facebook to Twitter, from YouTube to Sounder, and of course every Saturday right here on Twitch. Stay tuned on Mondays to our YouTube channel where you will see the brand new episodes of State of Impact with me. Of course, at some point, you've seen the teaser for it, Geoff will bring you this old wrestling shit. And that's pretty much covered it for another week. So without further ado, let's go straight to an advert. It's one you seem to enjoy, the Meltzer School of Clowning.
Tired of trolling but not getting the clout you deserve? At Dave Meltzer's School of Clowning, we'll teach you everything from shitting on Impact to really shitting on Impact. Enroll now for the low price of $11.99 a month, and you too can be just like Dave. Other classes include Bringing People Down 101 and Calling Myself a Journalist but Calling Companies by the Wrong Name. Use the code BIASPAYSMYBILLS for 15% off at checkout.
All right, we're back. Lucha is not. Lucha, where are you? There you go. And I'm going to kick it to Craig. No Max this week. Max actually was here. We did a little work too, so you'll see some cool things coming out from us that we planned out in the next few weeks, which I'm excited about. And so Lucha's here. I'm going to kick it to Craig and you host. Sorry, buddy, that's in a different world.
Yeah, so it's time for those hot topics. We're starting off with Rhino joining Violent by Design. Do you think he suits the narrative of the group, and should they recruit more members such as the man behind me? Let's get Lucha start us off.
Does the War Machine fit Violent by Design? War Machine. I think that says it right there. I mean, there's no bigger get for EY and VBD than a freaking War Machine to do his dirty work on top of already having Joe Doring. Like, this VBD is just like that, with that small addition, has quickly become one of, if not the most dangerous stable in all of wrestling.
No, I agree
my
with that.
opinion.
Do you have more, or do you want me to go back and forth? We don't have a rhythm yet, so we got to figure. Hey, Max, by the way.
I don't know how I would feel about Heath joining the squad. Did kind of beat the living shit out of him. But then again, Joe Doring beat the living shit out of Cody a couple weeks ago. So
And
that could
Rhino.
have been initiation for all we know. Exactly.
And that's that's the to jump in really quick, and we'll figure this out. But the thing with Heath, just to touch on that really quick, is we know he wasn't really shown on camera as getting beat up because, well, he's hurt, so they weren't going to do that. There's my wife. They didn't show it because he was obviously injured, not going to take a bump or any kind of physical contact when he has surgery down the line. But at the same time, you could look at it from a different perspective, and you could say maybe they shut the door and didn't beat him up. I think you're right. We saw Diener get beat up. We saw Rhino get beat up, and now they're members. So either, one or two ways. I think this does obviously lead back to Rhino and Heath. You have to. In some way, fashion, form, they have that call your shot trophy, Rhino does. He won that battle royal, and he could cash it in at some point. And then what else? With Heath, when he comes back, he could play off many different angles. Oh, Lucha, we lost your picture again. No,
I'm here.
You could run off different angles. You could say, "Oh, I was attacked by. How dare you join them after they beat me up?" Blah 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 blah. Or Heath is the leader of this. You could say, they could show a retaped footage of what actually went on in that room, at the time, and it could be him leading it or something. I haven't really thought it out, but there's so much that they can do here where I don't see a reason why Heath either would be in it or involved in it. But as far as the Rhino question, I agree with you 100%. I mean, Rhino's name is the War Machine. He had the goatee back. He looked he looked in better shape. He looked excited. He looked youthful, and I love that version of Rhino. So I hope. Well, I'm not going to say I hope it continues. I think it will. I mean, they look great together. They are one of the most dominant, and I keep saying it. When the war eventually happens, and it will happen, when VBD steps up to the plate, when AEW might be beating our ass, and you just see them come 4 deep or 5 or whatever they now, shit's going down. And I really feel that. And that's a really short period for them to have done that where I actually feel something about them, and I really do feel that passionately.
I believe JR will hit us with a good, folks, business has just picked up.
Could you, real quick, could you see anyone, is there anyone else besides Heath, put that aside, that you could see joining this that you would like to see?
The only other person that I would have put in there would have been Jake. I would have taken the Dieners in as a collective. But I'm cool with Jake being, the first enemy for VBD. I mean, as long as he's involved, either way,
it gives him something to fight for.
It gives him something to fight for.
Oh yeah. So, I mean, I got to look at it from this way when I answer that question as well. Is okay. So you take Eric Young as your main eventer. Right. Granted, Heath doesn't come along, but he is your guy. He's the leader of this. Do you put Doring and Diener together? They've never won. Oh, yeah. What's you got?
All right. Okay. I figured it out. There's one person that I would love for them to add, and that's ODB.
Oh.
I would love for EY and ODB to come full circle, but under some sick, twisted,
with
violent
Diener, all three
relationship. Yes,
that is.
And then you have a representative for every division. That's
what I was getting to, and that's what who doesn't fit them, or who's not duplicating somebody there. You could put Diener and Doring together as a tag, Eric as the singles main event. X Division is another one. I know you could use Diener. Max and I actually talked about this on the way dropping him off. I don't see Diener as a X Division guy. I mean, he's never won a tag team championship. So maybe him and Doring. And Diener and Doring, it kind of goes together. And then you need an X Division and a woman. So ODB, I agree with. I think that does come full circle. And that's fucking dope, to be honest with you. Who would be the X Division guy? Who needs? Because I want to touch on ODB. That would be a complete character change, which I think would be a nice, refreshing taste coming from her. So, but as far as the X division, sorry.
Well, I mean, you could make a good case for Doring to be the X Division guy, and you just pair Rhino and.
Oh, lost you. There you go. Sorry.
you pair Rhino and Diener together, and you have Doring be the X Division guy. I mean, guy just fucking move.
Yeah.
So
I think I was
there.
trying to think of someone floundering, but they're really doing a great job of do those not main event, but the top of the X division all getting the spotlight. So they're really building it back up. So I couldn't really think of someone who's in betweener still. I just wish this is the moment I wish Jake Christ was back, because if he was back, he would fit in that group. One, two, he would obviously fill that X division void. I just think if there's an opportunity for him to come back and it makes sense and not force it or have him come with a brand new gimmick by himself, this would be a cool way to do it. So to please all the Jake Christ fans out there, I hope Jake Christ is an answer to that. Craig, what do you got, bud?
Bring back Jake. Bring back Jake. Yeah. I can see the Cruiserweight Gauntlet trophy going to Dina and Doring. Yeah, I think EY will make.
Well, what about EY making him hold it over for him to get a world title shot? That seems very EY-ish, right?
Yeah, I think they're moving EY out of the title picture for obvious reasons. So I can see I'd be more leaning towards the tag titles unless Heath gets better in time, comes back, beats Rhino for the trophy, and then he gets on.
Yeah, I agree. He was really hitting his stride right before the injury. I do want to mention real quick before, because I don't think we'll touch on it again. James Storm, you're still a hypocrite. Still a hypocrite for talking to EY about treating his followers. Yeah, exactly. Treating his followers correctly and with respect. Okay, I don't want to hear that shit. But I do want to see, I hope this Hardcore Justice is legit, because if it's legit and we get VBD versus Storm, Sabin, Jake something, and Chris Harris, that would be something.
Dear God, please. That's
all I need in life.
All right, so second hot topic. It's an interesting one. Tony Khan reportedly saying he does not want anyone from AEW losing to Impact guys and girls. Do we believe it, Jeff?
I don't know the guy. And I say that all the time. Like, we have our opinion of someone from far away, you know, a spoiled kid or whatever it may be, but that's the narrative, because what else do we see? That's all that's out there. That's all that we really know. If I were... Okay.
1 quick second, guys.
If I were to say that that's legitimately word for word what was said, no, I would say I don't believe it. Of course, anything can happen or happen or be going on in wrestling. But the point of a partnership, I would imagine, and I once again was talking to Max about this, but New Japan and Impact, we're already going to have a deal, no matter if, and I know I'm jumping ahead a little bit, but no matter if Tony Khan was part of this or not. So Tony Khan jumping on in, which, don't get me wrong, AEW does the numbers. They have the good relationship with TNT. So I can see what he adds to this. It's not that they don't add to this. But at the same time, we had that partnership. Why would we need to force our hand and say, AEW, please be part of this because we really need to put your guys over? No, I don't think that's the case. I don't see it where he added on later to this partnership, open the forbidden door, and says, but really quick, my guys aren't losing to yours. I just don't see that. And if Don and Scott took that, then that is the biggest blemish on their management so far. But I stick to the guns of what I originally had said, to my guns there, which is the obvious paid ads are approved by Impact. They're the narrative that they want to push, so we have a David and Goliath. That's what I believe, and I'm not going to change my tone on that, simply because, once again, why would they let AEW, unless they are actually paying them, sponsor it and say, talk shit about us? I don't see that. So the payoff to that would be us busting down their doors since we're too little to be on their television show, right? We get our comeuppance, we fight, we beat them in their house instead of ours. It means something, it starts, right? The war begins. They threw that away 2 weeks ago or whatever it was when they did that. Oh yeah, we're friends now. So we just took that ass whooping from you and been called every name in the book, and now, man, we're cool. And we're just saying, yeah, we're cool. No, I don't fuck with that. And I can't. So let me get back to off my tangent. Back to you warned me that you might go on a promo. You cut a promo, and 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 now
And it ended up
you're
being
more than
you.
welcome to as well. Long story short, I don't believe it. Could it happen? Sure, but I think we just need to be patient. And yes, Chris Harris or Alex Shelley, but I really want America's Most Wanted.
I really want it. I mean, what if we get like a super team of the machine guns in AMW?
Trios.
But as far as the TK situation, I believe he said it. Hell yeah.
In private?
Why? Because I mean, if you think about it, you think about it in the grand scheme, in the competitive way of looking at it, no one wants their guys to lose to the other guys. It's all about, you got to read between the lines with that. I believe he said it, but I don't believe that that's going to be something that's legitimately going to happen. Like, right. AEW is not going to squash Impact. So, I believe he said it, but I don't think it's going to be something that's going to cause friction and issues down the line.
I have no trouble believing it whatsoever. I very much believe it.
I know I'm being an optimist for the first time in my wrestling life, in saying I think everyone's on the same page with this. At the end of the day, what he said the 2 weeks ago, which I'm complaining about, is actually true. They have the common enemy. Do I love WWE? I can never say it anymore. Do I love the E? It's always going to have a special place to my heart. I'll never just sit here and trash it, because it is what it is, and it's part of my childhood. I'll respect it. Granted, they don't come to my house and burn it down or something. Just let them be. They have their own. Let the fans have it. But at the end of the day, they have been the top dog for, let's be generous, we'll say 98. We'll be nice to WCW. We'll say 98, 99, right? 98. So we're what? 33 years later? Is my math horrible? No. 33 years later.
No, sounds right to me. But I mean, my math is shit too. So.
33 years later, and they're still on top. TNA came, we came close, not to beating them, but definitely being a strong number 2. This is the first chance that a group or I like to say the territories got back together, but if all these territories get back together to take down the man who stripped us of all their talent in the territories and monopolized wrestling, so to speak, in a way, I just think they would do that. How big of a splash in a wrestling boom for the business do you create by saying WWE, hey, finally has competition, like legit competition? I think there's too much money in that to waste it. Hey, Bert, what's up, buddy? I'll kick it to Lucha.
Yeah, no, and I mean, it's pretty much where history is happening, but in the opposite direction.
Yep.
This time around, as far as how the territories coming back and everything. I'm still interested to see how the NWA is going to play a part in this whole territory thing, if that's the case.
You think the world title?
But the world title most def, because they don't really have that much of a foundation, even at this point. Like, I mean, Impact's been through some shit times. I was there.
Same.
And we at least had some foundation during those shit
That's
times.
true. You're right. And with the NWA, it's at this point an IP. He owns the name, he owns the logo, he owns the belts, and that's awesome. But let's call a spade a spade. I mean, look at the lineup going into this that people are paying money to see. It's just at some point, and I obviously, once again, we don't know backstage, we don't know what's been already worked out, but at some point you have to say, maybe this isn't about the money, Billy, but who do you have? What all this work for what payoff? And if it is money, the money is in joining with us in using the IP and titles and making a real world's champion again. Because, if the TNA show that may or may not come becomes NWA TNA, it'll come full circle and it'll all be worth it. But I don't know, Craig, I know you hate TNA, but you released the NWA TNA. Does that?
I don't hate TNA in the slightest. I just think got to move on from it. Acknowledge it, celebrate it, but there's no point in bringing it back. What's done is done. It's just still, like I said, it's still a lot of bad taste left. There's doing some work on it, but I mean, NWA TNA, I don't have the same relationship with it as the original fans have. But I love the NWA belt. I think it's one of the best.
Classic.
It's classic and it looks incredible. And Billy Corgan, I was never a fan of Billy Corgan even when he first came in. I don't see why he needed to be there. I get it, the money, but we didn't really see a lot of it.
That's fair.
So I'm not really too in it.
I don't know if I fully agree with that part, Craig, because if you let certain people tell it, certain shows wouldn't have gone down without Corgan's wallet. So we probably wouldn't even be here in certain circumstances. But I do agree with you though. Corgan, other than his wallet, he contributed 0.1%. The couple people who used theme songs and the Decay using Marilyn Manson's theme song, that was probably his greatest contribution. Yeah. Other than that, nothing.
Yeah, I mean, his presence for all of 2 weeks.
We didn't even get Smashing Pumpkins performing at Slammiversary.
Did he pay for the Tokyo Bound for Glory? Or no, was that?
That's before
Are we supposed to be making a case for or against?
That's another show. That's another show. TNAIW after
before his time, slightly.
Coming soon.
Okay, so number 3 should be a simple one. Is Scott D'Amore the real Forbidden Door? Lucha.
Okay, if Tony Khan wants to say he's the Forbidden Door, then Scott D'Amore is the key, the door handle, the hinges, the wood used to make the door. Scott D'Amore is what's inside the door. Like Lucha Underground versus Impact Wrestling happened in what was that? 2017, 2018.
Yeah, no.
And from there, we've been branching out with other promotions. The Crash, we had a healthy relationship with the Crash. I was a real big fan of all the indie promotions that Impact linked up with too. That really showed that they cared about the foundation of wrestling, which is the future of wrestling. So yeah, Scott's he's what's inside.
I agree with the opposite of how much Billy Corgan brought to TNA. I agree. The only thing I disagree with is that no, let me rephrase that. I won't disagree. Let me start with my point and then I'll get back. Just because I want to say I agree with you and the facts Scott D'Amore. That's fine. Or as far as, if Tony Khan wants to call himself and Scott D'Amore's like, fine, sure. But I really feel like that vibe when they talk about Tony Khan is like Scott D'Amore and Don Callis like say, "Oh yeah, buddy, you're the Forbidden Door," and then they put a "kick me" sign on his back. Like that's the vibe I get when I hear that word. So it threw me for a loop. I was rereading it, but that's the vibe I get. And obviously we're not there, but that's what's kind of the feeling is. Now, as far as in real life, Scott D'Amore has been a forbidden door, if that's what you want to call it, since, I mean, even back in the day. Hey, kitty. I mean, look at all the partnerships we had under his watch, or when he was a part of this. Team Canada, for God's sakes, and then it's, went from there. But I think we got to give credit to Don Callis as well, because, one, Scott D'Amore and him went over there. Don Callis was working with New Japan. And they said in front of the locker room, in front of the management, hey, we want to work with you guys when you're ready to work with us again. That was the old management. We want to wash our hands clean of that. We want this to go. And as I was mentioning before, if Tony Khan came into this situation or not, Impact was going to have that partnership due to the due diligence of and hard work of Scott D'Amore and Don Callis. So if it makes him feel better, or if he wants to call himself the Forbidden Door, that's cool. But and that's not taking away from AEW. They're great. They do their thing. It is what it is. Not for me, but whatever. We still would have got shit done without Tony Khan. Now, granted, we might not see everything, but that's my personal feeling of it. And if I could have remembered what I was going to say that I disagree with you on, I would have remembered it. But, Treehouse.
We may not have gotten Kenny Omega had we not linked up with AEW, but we most definitely would have had Okada by now in Omega's place, playing a slightly similar role. As far as him coming through and being like, yeah, I'm the big dog. You got
100% agree with that, because you're not real. And I love Kenny, but they're on the same level in the same world. You know what I mean? Like, if you're not a WWE fan, you probably know of either of them. But it did work out perfectly that Kenny Omega is a really good, not a better cog, but because of the story and his attachment to all three promotions, it opens that door. Like Kenta going to AEW, cool. He has that connection with Kenny, but he doesn't have that connection with us. So it wouldn't have made sense if he, you know what I mean? So there's reasons for what they're doing. I firmly believe that. I'll wait. If Tony wants to be the Forbidden Door, good for him. I don't really. I wish I could remember what I disagree with you about.
I mean, whatever they like to say, AEW is a t-shirt company. Whatever makes you sell more t-shirts, go ahead and run with it.
Before we move to the next one, I'm firmly on the point of view that if it wasn't for AEW, if AEW hadn't came around, Impact probably would have had Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho either way.
That's a good point as well. And with still how
I think Jericho legit said that on top of Jericho.
You're fine. And might still have LAX, Pentagon and Phoenix, Brian Cage, and Ethan Page. So we might have had a lot of people had.
And Diamante.
What just didn't seem like we. I like it. I just don't know if management agrees.
Yeah. And I mean, we could have been stuck with Rebels, so, kind of blessing. Moving on. Should Impact Wrestling allow 2 of their titles to be held by non-Impact talent?
To me? Am I?
Yeah.
Should Impact allow 2 of their titles to be held by non-talent? If this was just a blind question and I don't understand where Impact has been since day one, I'd say no. As an Impact or TNA fan day one, and seeing how low we've gotten in the valleys we've been through, yeah, I think you should give all our titles away to every company that's going to give us the rub. Let's be honest here. And I think that's what I actually, I don't remember, but disagreed with you on prior is, yeah, I like the partnership aspect of it. But let's be honest, we were using those smaller indie shows as slingshots to fill content and keep our price down. We also are now using New Japan and AEW to shake and bake us to the front. Because once we get more eyes on us, people will see what content is better. And I firmly believe that Impact is still that brand. But the thing is, when you take now, granted, I argue with people with this all the time about Okada and how he was treated. He was a young boy. He's not the Okada we have now. He wasn't in the shape he is now. He didn't have the personality he has now because he stole that from D'Angelo Dinero. So there's all these things. I mean, come on. all these things wouldn't have happened had he not went to Impact. At the same time, we also gave their titles away to your buddy there, British Invasion. What is it? Nick Aldis. Yeah. Nicky James. Nicky James. So we gave them the belts without the permission of somebody. What's up, Jeebus? We gave the belts to another tag team in our company when they weren't even ours to give, without even asking. That is a lot. Besides the Okada thing, people say, "Oh, it's just the Okada." There's a lot in that relationship and in that bridge that got burnt down. And Scott, as to go back to that last question, full circle, repaired that. Don repaired that the best they could, and obviously it worked. We have a partnership with them. But if the price has to be our tag team titles or our heavyweight title or our X division, whatever the title they want, whatever it is that we have to do to show them in good faith that we mean business this time. We're not in the business of backstabbing. We're not playing games, politics. Let's just do this the right way. You give them your belts, that's how I take this. I take it as a show of good faith.
Yeah, and I mean, I agree with that, but then also on top of that, I'll add, it's not necessarily what we're giving out, it's what we're getting as well. That's one thing that I'm weary about. Like, I mean, if we give Kenny our world title and we gave FinJuice our tag titles, waiting for guys like Chris Bay to come and start taking AEW belts, Moose going over taking New Japan belts and bringing them back home, you know. So that's one thing that I myself would like to see. If we're gonna hand out belts to everybody that doesn't work for us, we got to be stealing.
That's fair enough there, and I agree with that. And I think that will come as a result of giving our belts to everybody else in our TV time and in our talent sharing. I want to hear what Craig, because Craig is obviously the producer. He writes the questions here. So Craig, I want to hear what your take is on it before we wrap that one up.
I don't want the belts to go to other companies. I understand why. Like, I wasn't behind FinJuice, but I was really shocked they did it. I was not shocked that they won. Like, we predicted it, but it's still.
Let me give a moment of acknowledgement. Lucha, Cody, I know you already mentioned it in the damn chat room, and Craig, Mr. Impact Blog, you guys called it. FinJuice won the titles. I just couldn't see it coming. I couldn't see that far ahead.
Yes, Max, I was high.
In the treehouse. But yeah, so you guys were right on that, and I didn't see it. But once again, look at what the result of that is. Today, I mean, I know Cody put it up there. Io did as well, I believe. Look at the images of FinJuice coming down with those titles in New Japan. That's something I didn't think we would ever see again. Any talent holding the belt and being in New Japan, let alone our tag team champions actually being on our show and theirs as well. Just blows my mind. Really does. So for that, I say, yeah. Give them all the titles you want.
No, I just don't. I think it depends on who.
No, that's yes. We're not going to give it to Sammy Guevara, obviously. We made that clear.
For him to never lose the title.
It is who we give it to. We're not going to give it to their young boys. Besides these guys, I just think that once again, in a sign of good faith, a show of good faith. Hey, man, these guys are now up here. They're no longer young boys. Let's use that as a storyline. Let's give them some work and some push through Impact and boost them on our show as well. So I think it's just going to be that synergy. Same with Good Brothers. You can only do so many dick jokes and funny segments in Impact. Sometimes you got to go somewhere and wrestle for a good 20-minute match and test yourself. Let's go. Last but not least.
Yeah. For that, I think for me it's that I don't trust AEW. I can't trust them. But yeah, so the fifth and final, slight change to what we originally had, but It came up in our group chat, and seems to be a pretty interesting topic. KYLIE RAE, under contract with Impact apparently, reportedly. Can we see her coming back? Lucha.
Well, I would most definitely love to see her back. I can see her coming back. We have that open-ended story where we have two open stories involving KYLIE, one with Deonna and her quest for the Knockouts title, and then her relationship with Susie and Sue. So there's some unfinished business, so it's not outside the realm of possibility. The thing I'm concerned about or worried about is just when would be the best time for her to come back, and do you throw her back in the title picture?
Well, I think that's the trust that we were discussing in. Oh, okay. Thank you. Update. It's the topic of conversation we were having in the chat group, and once again, thank you to anyone from the chat group that's here. You guys rock. It is the best chat group on Twitter. Fight me. I won't tell you where I live. Anyways, yeah, I'll get to KYLIE in a second. I do want to see. I see a lot of great questions in the chat here, so we are going to answer those. And when we play our game in the second segment, I know I usually do a format, but for the people that just joined, we'll have a little break after this fifth topic. We'll come back. We'll play a real cool game called I Have 5 on it, and then we will answer your guys' questions and maybe have some calls if you guys want to. But to answer the question, the championship. See, once again, and this goes back to, Craig not trusting AEW or whatever we say about management. We don't know what happens backstage. We can have our opinion. We can have our gut feeling. But I've been saying it since this incident happened. Well, a little bit. I thought it was BS because I had heard she's on good terms with management still. So I didn't understand how someone would skip a show and still be on good terms. But there's many angles I want to look at this as, and we have a lot of time, so bear with me if I rant, but I want to go back and forth because I'm pretty open about this, about mental health and all that stuff in my situation as well. Getting to the first part, I've been saying it as I was getting to, that she was still on the books. She was never released out of her contract. She never was in trouble with management. She even with the no-show, like even without the contact, they were good. They knew what was going on. I mean, they know their employee. And third, they paid for her mental health rehab facility that she went to, or the medical expenses there. At least that's what I've heard from at least two sources. So you don't take care of a human being that way, an employee that way on top of that, but a human being and I guess friend first, and then say, and I don't mean this in any other way than what I'm saying, but you invested in her. You invested in her as a human being, as a talent, as a champion. That doesn't in any way, shape, or form mean she needs to rush back and be your champion and owe you the world. This isn't Ricky Williams and the Dolphins, but Ricky Williams reference. I had to get that in. But at the end of the day, I want Impact to do good business, but at this point in our rise, good business, and it always should be part of it, is taking care of the ones that we already have. Treating people like human beings. I don't care if she skips out again. Oh, that is what it is. Shame on me. Okay, let's move on. But not to give someone else, someone that you guys love and invested in and believe is a great backstage presence on top of that, and the fans love her, merch mover, and you don't let her come back if she wants to and have a run. I don't know. I just feel like we are the company that gives those second chances, be it Rich Swann, be it Moose, be it obviously KYLIE, that's obviously different. Who else? I mean, we could go down the list. I feel like we've had a lot of not rehab. Jeff Hardy.
They made a whole storyline out of it, and it was a legitimate
and that goes a little
one.
deeper.
Like,
the
redemption was
I'm just saying with this management and Anthem, it seems like they take it to a more personal level. Yes, we can say that about Dixie and stuff, but in personal, in the good way. You do right by them, they do right by you. And I'm okay with if that is what gets us burnt in the end. If she burns us again, I'd rather still be known as the company who helped this girl when she really needed it and get eased back into it when she's ready. So this Warrior Wrestling appearance is perfect for that. To just dip her toes back in, see how she feels. But I will say before I kick it to you that Impact, there's no way Impact Management lets her back on if they feel she's not ready or has any disinterest, even a single ounce of disinterest of coming back.
Most definitely. And let's not forget it's against NWA talent, Thunder Rosa. Another NWA talent that they have there. But no, I'm sure KYLIE wouldn't come back unless she knew in her like deep down that she was like ready, and there's been communication. Like I'm sure there probably has been communication since the day she left.
Yeah, you know.
Honestly.
Oh, sorry.
And no, and I don't think she would ever like jump to AEW, considering A, she is on contract, and B, if she wanted to go to AEW, why not just stay in Impact and walk through
Right.
the
What's also
forbidden door?
come into account that she did work for AEW. She did have an attack like she had with us, and then I won't put words in mouths, but she came to us and worked for us. Whatever you want to take from that.
Yeah. That's another reason why.
But I do want to say for all the people, and this is this is just a general statement, I guess. Is I've mentioned multiple times in the chat group. I don't know if I mentioned here. I think I have a couple times. Bipolar 2. It's been a long journey for me to get and work every day to get where I am at. I'm 34 years old now, just doing a show where I feel comfortable being on camera and talking to people. The anxiety and all of that and paranoia, it really messed you up, and it puts what you really want to do that's in your heart or who you are on the back burner, unfortunately. So I believe she loves professional wrestling. I believe she's a good-hearted person. I think when she has the ability and the strength to, remember, was she 24, 23 now, 24? 24 years old?
24.
Me at 24 was bad shit. So a 5150. I'm let's just say that. So this girl has a lot of time to discover herself and figure it out, and they're getting the help she needs. But I think because she's a good-hearted person, she would not take the chance if there was an opportunity to spurn us again. I just can't see that in being who I think KYLIE is. But, Craig?
Yeah, so I mean, obviously, especially right now, mental health is so important, and it should be if she's ready. Like I said, Impact won't make her do anything she's not ready to do. KYLIE RAE is one hell of a talent, but I don't think this is her return. I think it's her coming in, dropping the belt to Thunder Rosa, and then taking more time, because it did with Tessa. Obviously, right. Completely different situation. But I don't think this is a return for KYLIE RAE. I'd love it to be. If KYLIE RAE losing hit an Impact at any point, I would
you say that for a live
shit.
crowd, I think. I think that's why we haven't seen his dad as well. He hasn't come yet, but Angle will be there. I have a feeling. But I agree with you. But you think it's one-off completely through Warrior, not anything to do with Impact, though.
Yeah, she's in
right.
Chicago. Obviously, that's hometown. It wouldn't take. She can get there and back in a day. She can drop the belt, have a decent match with Thunder Rosa, and
I think she'll drop the belt
match.
either way, if she's ready to return or not. I think it's just to dip my toes in, get the ring rust off, do the right business, and drop the belt, and figure it out from there. And maybe that's the plan. Impact. You don't just, like we're all alluding to, you don't just sit down and say, throw a dart at it, okay, in the office, and say, oh yeah, she's coming back on the 10th. It's not going to happen that way. They're going to think long term here. They're going to think baby steps, and they're going to get her right. Because let's also remember, the AAA thing, that deal, that she was all this pressure. If I at 24 years old was told, hey man, you're going to work for the company you've loved since you were a kid. Okay, oh, okay, cool. You're gonna win the Knockouts title. Well, I would win. Well, I could still win the Knockouts title, right? Knockouts title, whatever it is. Yeah, you're gonna
Equality.
go equality. Um, you're going to AAA to be a representative for Marvel, the Marvel Disney brand, which is a huge a thing. She was gonna be Miss Marvel, and I mean, I'm a nerd. I was looking at pops last night, and there's already pops for each of those characters that are in Lucha. So you are going to be a pop as well. That's a lot of pressure for someone who is 24 years old and has issues. And I just want everyone to be patient with her, let her do her thing, but make sure you support her. Keep it for a live thing because I think the crowd will be insanely supportive, as Craig alluded to. So, Kylie, stay strong. Come back whenever you're ready.
People will
I think
legitimately
so.
be in tears
I honestly think that.
if she returns in a live
I honestly
crowd.
think that.
Yes.
I might be one of them.
Just quickly, Cody pointing out that Kylie Rae's doing a virtual signing in April. But I mean, that could just be
That's true.
she needs a
But
payday.
once again, we're not knowing from the inside. Any of this can be a crumb sprinkle, or it could be just her doing business and trying to get some, trying to pay her bills. So, all right, guys, that was fun. Good first time there, Lucha. We're gonna kick it to a little nighty night ABCs of Impact that I made for my daughter. Yep, you're gonna watch that, and then we'll be right back to play a game and answer your questions as well, guys. Be right back.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z.
All right, guys, we're back for the game. I cut out a little bit early. Sorry about that. If you guys are watching on live, you can see our score new up and improved, and Jericho 2000. What is it? Kind of bullshit down there. Jericho
The
5000.
Geritron 5000.
That's our new leaderboard. So, hey, congratulations to Mike. I am still in the lead with 1,000 points. What these points mean, I don't know. They don't even matter. But they both won the games we've done so far. So if you guys play along with us and can do it, I'll pick a winner for shits and gigs, and we'll put you up there as well. Craig, do you want to explain the game, and we'll answer questions as that you saw during it?
Yes. So we have 15 seconds, or is
Your
it?
joy,
Do we
your,
go 10
your
seconds?
choice, buddy.
Let's go 10 on this one. Let's go 10 seconds. 10 seconds. I give you a topic, for instance, King of the Mountain champions, and I say Lucha, and he has to give me 5 King of the Mountain champions in 10 seconds. Then he can nominate a person and a topic. So you can go. You can go to Geoff and say, I don't know, King of the Mountain winners, and Geoff
Who's
has to name 5 of
this?
them in 10 seconds, and so on and so forth.
Okay, all right.
I'll do my
Are you-
best.
Are you playing, Craig?
So I've got different things open.
Or would you rather kind of look through the chat group? It's up to you.
Yeah. Well, actually, it's best if I fact check
Okay,
and
cool. Well, and we'll play this casually. We'll do the, we'll challenge each other, but we'll answer the questions as well if you don't mind reading those and who sent them. Okay, so we're doing 10 seconds. Lucha versus me. You want to do 2 double elimination? Right? Yeah. Okay.
Cool, man.
All right. Cool. Let's go for this. Craig, do you want to start it off with a question or the game? I'll put it 5.
Not many questions coming through, so let's go.
Oh, there's a lot
jump straight into the game. So
scroll, says scroll.
Is there,
I think there was.
I mean, my chat kept cutting
Oh,
out,
okay.
so I've lost a lot.
That's
of
right.
the-
If you guys have any
lost a lot of-
questions, we'll do first round. If you guys have any questions there, put them in there. We'll answer them and go from there.
Roll them on. So, do you want me to start you off with
Me?
a topic?
Give Lucha the choice. He's
Who
the
wants to
he's the
start?
guest here.
Let's toss it to you first. Let's go ahead.
I got a reputation to try to fake. All right. All right.
Okay,
Who's throwing it at me? Craig, you do it or?
literally. Literally, do I give him the first topic or?
Okay.
I got one. I got one for him. All right, 5. What's up?
Who's timing it?
Not me. you
Okay.
game master, Craig.
I've got 10. I've got 10 seconds. As soon as you get a topic name,
Oh shit. Okay.
I'll start the clock.
All right. 5 Slammiversary
Oh my
locations.
god. Impact Zone, obviously. We had the one in oh my god, what?
3, 2, 1.
Jesus.
Damn. That was as long as the Rhino Jake something match. What the hell just happened? Holy Lord. Well, I lost. There we go. Let's just do rounds. Let's do rounds. Because this is a little harder than I thought it would be. All right. So I got to give you one. I'm gonna go a little easier here. I want to know 5 wrestlers that Hulk Hogan brought with him once he came to TNA.
Wrestlers are talent, period.
Wrestlers.
Okay. Mr. Anderson, Rob Van Dam, Jeff Hardy, Scott Hall, Sean Waltman.
All right. Come on, that was an underhand throw. You could do the same for me. You did the same for me, brother. All right.
I got you. All right, let's go. 5 X Division champions.
Hold on. First of all, that was pathetic. Shut up, Max. They're not even here and you're giving me shit. Okay. What? Sorry. What is it? Sorry. What am I doing? You could change it if you want.
I think it was 5 multi-time X Division champions.
Okay. Tell me when.
And
Saban, Styles, Aries, Joe, and what the hell am I? Trevor Lee.
Damn, he did win it multiple times.
Woo! That was scary, bro. That's scary. All right. Here's one for you. Okay. This one's easy. But you're the guest, right? 5 pay-per-view names from the TNA days.
Unbreakable, Against All Odds, Sacrifice, No Surrender, Lockdown.
There you go. Simple.
All right. Let's see.
Oh, I like that.
5 factions
And
in the
Okay.
company.
tell me
History.
when, Craig.
And go.
Immortal, Fortune, VBD, BDC, and Sex.
Shout out to the Beatdown Clan.
Damn you, Hernandez. It's all your fault.
All your fault.
All right, so I got one for you. I like that one. If someone wants to ask me that, I will answer that. Jeebus is there. Okay. 5 ex-WWF wrestlers, I said WWF for a reason, that debuted in TNA but didn't last long.
Kurt Hennig, Scott Hall, Ken Shamrock, Ron and Don Harris.
Oh, I don't know. How long were Ron and Don Harris in TNA?
Yeah, that one was a stretch.
Macho Man. There you go, Cody. Good one. Macho Man was like, what, two shows?
Savage.
Lex
Yeah.
Luger. Road Warrior, Animal, and the Hawk. Yeah,
Road Warriors.
Vader.
Jim the Anvil
Against
Neidhart had
Lethal.
a match on Explosion, and his theme song was Sienna's theme song.
Well, we will call that Jim the Anvil Neidhart's theme song. I know.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna go. That's an X, man. Ron and Don Harris were there for a while. They even owned part of the company, brother.
Yeah. They do.
I know.
I blanked.
Trust me. I don't know how I didn't know locations.
Damn tree.
All right, Craig, do you want to give us each one now?
Okay.
I'll answer some questions.
So, Luke let's have a look at the questions first.
Oh, that was a good one.
There's one from Wrestling Jeebus. So let's go with that. Let's give it to Geoff. And again, top 5.
That's cool. Okay.
Top 5 specialty matches unique to TNA/Impact Wrestling.
King of the Mountain.
Go.
Lethal Lockdown. Ultimate X. Hard 10. And Raven's Clockwork or House of Fun match. I'm old. Those are right.
I'll give you the Clockwork Orange because I know in WCW he had Raven's
Just
rules,
hardcore.
which was just no DQ, and the Clockwork was evolution.
It had the
of
cage
it.
thing on. Do that dope spot. Sean Waltman going through the cage. Oh, that was nice.
Okay, and we have one from Critical Sting 17.
That would have been hard though if you had to do it too, right?
Oh, okay.
I might be able to. No, I'm not.
There's some
good.
Monster Ball, Doomsday Chamber of Blood. Wow, that's a throwback. Feast or Fired, Last Rites
match of 10,000 tacks.
Elevation X. Oh, Full Metal Mayhem. We got that as well.
Mayhem. The Asylum, the Steel
King
Asylum.
of the Mountain? I thought King of the Mountain was my first.
What about the...
I saw that. It was.
Yeah. I remember you said KO's again.
That pudding match between the beautiful people.
The reverse battle royal.
Gauntlet for the gold. We got some. All right. So you're giving him a different one then. Okay.
Yeah, from Critical Sting 17. 5 Triple Crown champions. And in 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, we got AJ, obviously.
You're good.
What happened? Okay, AJ.
One.
Okay.
I would have blanked on
At least
that
you're
one
honest.
anyway.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. What do you guys got? AJ?
Good one.
Okay. We have AJ. You have Aries. Young.
Aries.
Eddie.
Bobby Lashley.
Who are we missing here? Storm? No, wait, no, Storm. Because what do you count Triple Crown is X as well? Or we say King of the Mountain in TV?
Well, he did win the King of the Mountain. He also was the beer drinking champion. Let's not forget that.
AJ, EY, Joe, Kurt, Eddie. Is that it? Oh, Sabin, Styles, Lashley.
Bobby Lashley.
Aries, Angle, EY. Yep. Feel like we're missing one. Depends on how we look at it, right? Who's carried what? Because Moose... Yeah. No, Moose didn't win tag.
Swan's short.
Oh, yeah.
Tags.
Yeah. I think they'll give it to him. They have to. He's got to be a Triple Crown.
Yeah. I can't think.
Oh, wait, let's answer some questions. Anyone got any questions that you want us to answer? Let's see. Lashley? Yeah, Lashley's definitely because he had all the belt belt thing.
One of the most
Ah.
iconic images in
What
TNA
the-
history, in my opinion.
Was Lashley a tag
Oh.
team champion? He wasn't, was he?
No.
No,
No. So
Yeah.
fair,
But
fair.
if we say the Grand Championship is one of those Triple Crown,
But that would be the same
No, that's
case
what I'm saying, for Lashley.
I mean, I think it's about that's stuck around for at least 5
Fair.
years
Okay.
without changing name.
Oh, okay.
I think that's how you should class it. Any questions?
Oh, we got name 5 move
From
Eddie
us?
Edward has. Someone
I
want to
need
take that? Yeah.
5 Eddie Edwards moves.
All right. Start the clock.
I got
What's
it.
this?
And then 3, 2, 1, go.
Boston Knee Party, Backpack Stunner, Blue Thunder Bomb, Suicide Dive, and Emerald Explosion.
Damn.
Nice.
I was going to say kick, punch, chop. Kick, punch, chop.
Well, can I rename the Suicide Dive the Shot of Caffeine, Daddy?
I hate it. I hate
I
that.
love
the
that
Pope.
shit.
Pope should have been champion. He could come back and be champion. I don't give a shit. But I hated that on commentary. Just that part. I love
Ooh.
him.
Jeff, I got one for
Yeah,
you.
what's up, bud?
5 athletes that have
Ooh.
appeared in the company that
Okay.
weren't full time.
Do they have to? They didn't have to wrestle.
So no moves.
Oh, okay.
Got active.
And then 3, 2,
D'Angelo
1,
Williams,
go.
Adam Pac-Man Jones, did AJ Przynski, Curtis Granderson, Matt and Johnny Damon.
That's time.
They all did.
So
Kyle
got,
Kyle
Uh,
Vandenbosch, yeah. Y-Check, that was the first episode, I believe. The whole Titans, that
Yeah.
crappy punching.
Mongo was a referee
Yes, he was.
for a match.
That was his true calling.
we've got a question from, I'm guessing, all 3 of us.
Yeah.
So who will take it first? From Wrestling Jeebus. You may have answered this before, but how did you all first become a fan of TNA/Impact?
Craig, why don't you want to start it, Craig?
It's kind of a weird story. I mean, I saw TNA advertised on my TV when I was at home, but I couldn't get that channel at the time because our TV was also messed up. So I went over to my nan's house one weekend, and I couldn't sleep one night. So I was flicking through channels, and a repeat of TNA came on. I first saw the Immortal kicking out Mr. Anderson.
Wow.
That was the first thing I saw. So like, obviously, my head, used to watch bits of SmackDown, bits of Raw. So seeing Scott Steiner, Bully Ray, Mr. Anderson, and I think Bischoff in
And
the
you
same
kept
ring,
watching?
like, holy shit, I need to watch more of this. Yeah, I kept watching. Then missed a few episodes, but then caught up during the Battle for Glory series of that year, and yeah, just hooked because I'm a mark.
You got hooked, kid.
Yeah. Well, let's go. Lucha, what do you got, bud?
Well, I was watching from way back in the Asylum days. The first episode I watched was actually when Truth won the world title. Part of the reason I hate Sonny Siaki is because I saw the Flying Elvises also, and I was like, holy shit, it's guys dressed up as Elvis, and they're fucking dope. And then there's this bitch ass Sonny Siaki just being an asshole to him, and I'm just like, dude, no, you look like a bootleg Rock, you fucking pebble. I don't like you, Sonny Siaki.
Man.
Get out of here. Give me more Jimmy Wang Yang.
Points if anyone can name the third member. I won't say. Give me points. First one to name it gets on the scoreboard. No, not us.
Fuck.
Oh man. Yeah, we'll give you some other trivia questions, guys. Yeah, no, me, what is the first day? June 19th, 2002? Yeah, I had d- transparency. I had a pretty shitty childhood, so um, my mom was at work all the time or whatever. I had my little brother, and Wednesday she would always leave us. Just happened to be that day would leave us like money just to get a pizza. Granted, he was like 2 years old. I don't know why he was eating pizza, but um, maybe he was younger. I don't even know. He's 2 years old. I don't know. I have a kid. I should know this. Um, but anyways, she would leave us money for Wednesday just to whatever. It was her day that she was completely gone. Like I got us up, whatever. Um, and was like looking through, see if wrestling's on because I always obviously enjoyed wrestling. And then saw that on there, and I saw Jeff Jarrett and everybody's name or whatever that it like in the marquee. And it wasn't even that much. I think it had said Jeff Jarrett. Um, did it say Scott Hall? I feel like the names that were there were odd, but at the time I really was a mark for the two of them. So I bought it. 9.95, and we watched it. And from that day I was hooked, and it really was something that I've literally followed. I've seen every piece of the content. One night onlys. I couldn't tell you if I have. I'll be honest there, but yeah, I've been a fan ever since, and you know it's really weird because people ask, when did you become a fan, or why did you stay a fan? And sometimes I don't know. I think everything is just there's this for some reason something that ROH unfortunately and AEW to a point and NXT, all these things, they're not going to ever have the lineage of what TNA does. That library is the future stars of tomorrow. It is in present, excuse me. So that I think that just that story of this upcoming company. When I was a WCW fan, and that obviously went out of business, it just sucked me in, and I kind of went with it. And you got some nice surprises and people back, but you had some really cool young talent that was groundbreaking shit. I mean, and there's people that don't even get credit. Michael Shane or Matt Bentley, whatever you want to call him, and the D-Ray 3000s of the world, and Craig's favorite Shark Boy. There's all these people that that have come through. The Johnsons, that's for Max. So always was a fan. Loved the idea that anyone could show up, and it got me hooked there. So wow, that was fun. Memory lane.
This company to me is like the greatest all-star team of all time. Like just the different elements from everything. From the exception, you had a little bit of WCW, WWF, WWE, ECW. This company is the baby of the Attitude Era, of the Monday Night Wars, of the 90s. Like, if wrestling in the 90s had a baby, it's TNA. Sure.
And that's true. I mean, you go back and look at those. I had you name 5 of them, but we probably could have went on and on. And there were those cool little things. So as a fan who, as you said, it was an all-star group of people, and Craig too, for when he watched. It was just Impact has always had that nice blend. And I know people say we went too deep into the WWE light, and I agree. I watched. We were rewatching Bound for Glory 2012 the other day because we went to it, Max and I, and not good, not good. It was very WWE light. So there was that point, that little period. But other than that, I think they did a very good job of integrating. There was never just 50-year-olds on top, and there was never just 20-year-olds either. It was a real good mix and blend to where you could see the stars of tomorrow and some of the legends of before and the wrestlers of today. So it had a little bit of for everybody, I think. And women in cages.
Wait.
Gotta love women in cages.
Hey, did you say Bound for Glory 2012?
Yeah, I was at 10-10. No, we weren't at 10-10. Yeah, Philadelphia. I was there. Oh, that was 11?
That was 11.
Oh, that sucked.
Yeah.
Wow, that's when I started. Like that's the first pay-per-view I stayed up and watched. I love that shit. Jeff Hardy win the world title. Holy shit!
I'm not against some of that era. Don't get me wrong. There's some things that I think are great. The rise of Aries. I sometimes forget how cool Aries was when it first started. That rise when he came in and he had that pep in his step. I remember Taz saying, "Oh, he's got a hop to him," like when he jumped in the ring the first time. And there I was like, "Damn, this guy's getting a motherfucking job. He is staying around." Taz bought into it. Yeah, so there's really cool things that did happen during that time. I don't want to say that, but any show that has Velvet, Crimson, all winning matches, just RVD, over Jerry Lynn. There's just things that Kendrick was in a match. There's just people there that it felt forced to a degree.
And the main event, the Hogan Sting match, that was like the most predictable main event.
It was the semi-main
but
event.
At the same time, that was the semi-main, yeah. But it was so predictable because you knew it was coming, but at the same time, watching it live, I was like, yes.
The Star Wars,
Yeah,
their idea was that it was like
you.
the Empire or the Return of the Jedi, that moment where, the friend of the bad guy or one-time friend is getting beat down, and what do? You gotta, okay. Live, it was cool. Everyone popped. I was confused.
It's not what you do, it's how you do it.
And then it was followed up by that 3-minute Bobby Roode, Kurt Angle thing there. So, yeah, man, that was rough. It was rough. But, I can say, and Michael brought this up, by the way, Michael Cavaccini, add him at Michael Cavaccini, or follow us and you'll see his links. He's doing the 20th anniversary of Impact Wrestling TNA books that will be coming out in the future. But he said that he was there as well, which we didn't know, but it reminded us that it was Hogan's last official match ever, if you could call it that. But we were there for it, so it's a cool that's the one thing I will say that was really cool that I enjoyed.
A little
moment of history.
Yeah, it's always cool when you get to see those moments.
It was really neat. We also got there. We were there for the moment of this game is gone, right? We're trying at this point. You're the winner, Lucha. Good job, buddy. The show that had AJ come out as right before he left, unfortunately, but the one he was only one or the only one? Sure.
Yeah, only one.
And he came out to the Evil Ways song, and then he stopped at the end of the ramp with the Get Ready to Fly song, and he turned back to phenomenal AJ Styles and he helped Main Event Mafia beat the we were there for that. Max, myself, and Johnny, who's also been on the shows here. We all were there, and we changed, or no, maybe Johnny was shooting it. He might have been doing photography for it, but we changed our clothes between each taping, even though it was the same day. We tried to contribute the best we could. It was like dedication.
I like the dedication.
That AJ moment, is genuinely the first time I properly popped. I mean, with the Bully Ray thing, I was more pissed off. But with the AJ returning, phenomenal AJ returning, I was sat on the floor watching it. I think I was about 14 at the time. I jumped up. I knew it was the camera.
Yeah, me too.
I leapt onto the floor yes! I lost.
I, on the other hand, was a 20-something-year-old man in the crowd, still doing the same thing. So stupid, but it's true. Oh.
I was watching at home, and I was just like, "Oh man, what's AJ gonna do?" And then Get Ready to Fly hit, and and that was me the whole match. I'm just stuck like this.
We got a couple. What did they say? TNA huge brawl in the parking lot. The cops showed up. When was that?
The
first
riots. The riots.
When was that?
Such a good time.
Just like in the beginning of the shows, right? Like every.
I think it was 2009, when at the height of the Frontline and Main Event Mafia rivalry, and then when World Elite came onto it as well.
All through the backstage,
brawling in the fucking Impact Zone.
They're in Orlando. For some reason, the only thing that pops in my head is debut of Destination America.
Cookie Gate?
Was. Yeah, and everyone's like, fighting.
I thought you meant
No, I
Cookiegate.
love Cookiegate. I watch that all the time. It's one of those things. That and Paparazzi Productions. And then turning point for me is when they changed to 4 sides under Hogan. Yeah, it was an alarm bell. I should have took the advice. But once again, I have to say, like, even though I feel that the Dixie and Jeff era might have had misses still, the misses during Hogan, we could just say were more than that. Doesn't mean that they didn't have good things. They just had more shit that was bad, I think, in my opinion. Doesn't mean that Corgan and all them are off the hook. That's what it is. But yeah, that was a red flag. But I don't know, man. There was some that first, was it March 4th? Was the show that Hardy came back and Homicide couldn't climb the cage? Is that the?
There was like January 2nd.
March was the first.
Like a New Year.
That was the lot.
It was that
was
live.
First.
It was that live one on Monday. It was like the day after, the same day Bret Hart came back on Raw.
Planned that. See, so we scared him. What people say, we scared him.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Let's. You know what? We always say the negative. Obviously, Lucha, you were a fan. What is the biggest positive for you from the Hogan era?
Holy shit! There's too many positives to choose from. The summer, like I always like to bring up, during the summer of 2012 and 2013, like those were literally hot. They would always go live every week during the summer. And those were some of the best episodes I think I've seen. I liked the backstage segment format, how they just kind of made it like on some paparazzi style.
Yep.
That was a Bischoff contribution that I appreciated that. The Bound for Glory series was a fun time. All of them, the stories that all were involved through that. I was a fan of heel Hardy until Victory Road.
I agree. That was Sting.
Everything up until Victory Road was fantastic. He played that Antichrist role.
He's giving out concussions, and they're fucking free. Love that line. I can't find that anywhere.
And then I'm always kind of upset, like at the fans a little bit, because I'm like, we were clamoring, oh, we need the show to go on the road. We needed to get out the Impact Zone. Okay, and they did it. And what did we do? Go to the show. Oh, I can't say we, because I went to the show in Fayetteville where Sting came back and took the title from Jeff. And fun story, that was the same loop where Jarrett and Karen renewed their vows, and Kurt was the best man. There was a spot where Kurt was supposed to run down the aisle, like after the whole cake thing happened, and attack Jeff. Well, Kurt turned the corner going down the ramp and slipped on some cake and busted his ass. Had to go back and reshoot it. Dad, I'm sorry.
They had to reshoot it?
I'm sorry, Dad. Yeah, he just got up, went back, and then...
Let's try this again. That's good shit. You know what? I do want to say the Hogan era. Yeah, I keep seeing good things. Yeah, open fight night, dope. Antichrist, Antichrist was dope. The parking lot brawl, yes. They had some really cool things. Let's not, I don't like Immortal. I know Cody said it's his favorite. The Immortal Thanksgiving was funny, and I enjoyed that. But it was just the cluster of talent that they put in that group just did not make sense to me. They are TNA originals, but also BFG series, yes, for sure. It was just Immortal that I didn't like, how they dealt with certain people, Daniels leaving, coming back. And the biggest thing I say is there are a lot of positives. There's more positives than there are negatives. I really believe that. But part of it is our responsibility, for sure. And cutting wood, someone just on. And then I can always answer whatever anyone says that is great. Sting in the birdcage, holy shit. Just Joker Sting. Crimson.
Yeah.
Joker Sting. Crimson. That's my answer anytime someone says Hogan. It's just there was too many like that. And Nasty Boys. Bubba the Love Sponge. Joker Sting, yeah.
They were there like Nasty Boys and Bubble the Love Sponge were
3
there
weeks
like
too many.
3 weeks.
Lucha. 3 weeks too many.
Fair,
Gunner.
very, very fair. But also, you gotta remember, 2009 gave us Mick Foley as world champion.
I approve that title. You know what's funny? And Max and I did this. It's one of the projects we're working on. We took the pay-per-view we were watching of TNA back in 2000. I think it was 8 or 9. And we took every person on that roster that appeared on the show, from management to whatever, and wrote down the ages of all of those wrestlers. Oh yeah, there's your belt. Two-tipped angel. And did it with AEW and WWE. We were, even in the Hogan era, such a better average age bracket. You know what I mean? Of who we had on the roster in what do you call it? So I that narrative of we were WWE or WCW and just bringing in people. I hate that narrative, and I think that's associated with Hogan, and that's why the Nasty Boys and Bubba are things I can't look over, I guess.
And I like to say that, if it wasn't for all the old guys, AJ, Joe, Bobby Roode, they wouldn't be who they were. Because Bobby Roode as a heel would not have went over if he didn't have Sting to go against when he was on his world title shit.
True.
I mean, it's all about, like you said in a prior episode, it's all about how you use the guy.
I mean, people, were complaining about Tommy Dreamer coming back, and it's just, he's not wrestling. He's going to be part of the show, and rightfully so. He has been a huge hand in us getting from out of the dumps to now. And they're using him the right way if this is how they're going to use him as a, whatever. Yes, the it factor. Anything with Bobby Roode at that time besides his theme music was phenomenal.
It pays to be rude.
You weren't a fan of Off the Chain?
No, I was not a fan of Off the Chain.
Not even the instrumental version. The instrumental version is a cold.
Instrumental version is a banger. I like that. But Off the Chain, it was literally like Hogan was like, what's a hip saying right now? Off the chain. Hogan, it's 2012, buddy. That's not. That was a decade ago. What are you doing?
You're talking to a guy who's
that's
still
true. I still say bro. Well, I don't say it that way though.
I mean, all this stuff that people find corny and cheesy, I love that shit. That's what got me hooked, because full disclosure, I didn't know any better. Like, I didn't know that a lot of people thought they knew more. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
That makes sense. Like, I wasn't checking out dirt sheets, or I wasn't or any online stuff. I just love that. I mean, my favorite TNA match of all time is James Storm versus Bobby Roode Battle Glory 2012 in the Street Fight.
That's good. Hey,
that's my all-time favorite match. Yeah,
that's cool. You want to know how old I am, Craig?
It's just in the company or period.
Not only did I not know what people thought about the wrestling promotion I liked, or that they thought they knew more, I had to watch a show that was on Fox called Wrestling Uncovered, where they taught us that wrestling is fake, and it blew my fucking mind. That's how old I am.
Oh, shit.
I remember it. That asshole in the mask would teach you how to do magic. Then he also taught how to do wrestling or whatever. It was around that time. They exposed it. And I remember the clip they showed that really sold me.
Shit.
It was Disco Inferno. He was getting kicked by La Parka or something, and he missed completely. And whatever one of it was, he was like, oh my God. It was selling it. And they kept rewinding it. I was like, you son of a bitch, Disco. You ruined wrestling for me. And I'll never forget it. We should find that. Is that wrestling? No, not Wrestling with Shadows. That was the Bret Hart stuff. Does anyone know in the chat what that was? Wrestling Revealed? Wrestling Unmasked? That doesn't make sense. Yeah, see, that's what I think.
It was. I'm trying to think. Was that? No, it wouldn't have been. I was thinking something else with what's his name? Dr. David. No, not David Schultz. Was it?
So what?
What's his name? It's gonna annoy the hell out of me. No, he he punched out a reporter who came backstage and
that was David Schultz.
Yeah, Dr. Death.
Oh.
Yeah. He's on Doc's Side of the Ring last season. Obviously, knocked out a reporter.
That's who it was? Oh.
I think so. I remember Vader doing it in Japan. I think it was Japan.
The more you know. The more you know.
But,
Dun, 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 dun. All right. Well, guys, we just cut the last 30 minutes by talking bullshit. Oh, wait, actually, scratch that, rewind. Talking nonsense. There we go. Got to plug when I can, people. All right, guys. We'll end this right at 9. We'll say goodbye and send you guys off. This will be on YouTube tomorrow as well as Sounder.fm within the next days after.
yes.
Expose Pro Wrestling Greatest Secrets. Boom. Thank you, Jeebus. All hail. It was a fun time, guys. Lucha, thank you for helping us out today. You got anything you want to close with that's appropriate? Oh, he's so happy he froze. He's so happy he froze. Craig, what do you got for us, bud?
All the usual stuff. Follow us here. Subscribe to us on YouTube. If you want to listen to our podcast or previous episodes of the podcast on Sounder, just simply search "Talking Nonsense about Impact Wrestling" podcasting to Google. Top result will be all our episodes. Follow us on Twitter if you don't already, but I'm guessing most you do. And just keep interacting with us. If you want to join our group, then just drop us a DM or message us on Twitter, ask to join. It's a fun time. Maybe get a couple of wrestlers popping in every now and
some
then.
good interviews coming up. Craig, did you mention that your show Mondays, every Monday?
Yeah, every Monday. State of Impact. I run you through everything in the world of Impact Wrestling as well as all the
Yes, which is a lot coming up. Thank you, Craig. Thank you, Lucha. We're gonna say thanks, guys. Yeah, there we go. We're gonna get out of here. This will be up even if you watched us here live, and thank you for doing so. Please go like and play on YouTube as well. Help us out there. We're gaining, we're growing, and we got some really cool things coming up that we think will help us as well. As Craig mentioned before, we have the next This Old Wrestling Shit, which is my unboxing that you might have saw put on Twitter I think a couple days ago, where I did the TNAIW DVD board game, which is worth a watch. But we have a new improved version coming up, and because you guys are watching us, I won't make you wait. I am unpackaging the 10 Micro Mini Toys R Us set from 2010, and it's my first time legit ever touching and opening these guys, and I'm stoked. So it'll be a good time. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.
Tired of trolling but not getting the clout you deserve? At Dave Meltzer's School of Clowning, we'll teach you everything from shitting on Impact to really shitting on Impact. Enroll now for the low price of $11.99 a month, and you too can be just like Dave. Other classes include Bringing People Down 101 and Calling Myself a Journalist but Calling Companies by the Wrong Name. Use the code BIASPAYSMYBILLS for 15% off at checkout.